tonight, Timothy Thatcher.
The following bout is scheduled for one fall. And introducing first, from the Forgotten State, he is the Stray, Robert Martyr!
I look at Robert Martyr, his eyes tell the story. He's putting on a brave face right now, but I can also see some trepidation, some nerves perhaps. You mentioned that without Timothy Thatcher, there would be no Robert Martyr. This is a man who has emulated Thatcher. So he's got no doubt a lot of emotions running through his head right now, but I wonder, is he really, truly ready to take on Thatcher here?
He feels like he's proven he's ready against Minoru Suzuki back at Hybrid Moments. The Prestige faithful feel like he's ready after that war with Minoru Suzuki back at Hybrid Moments. But tonight, it's not about talk, it's not about tweets. It's all about action against one of the toughest, meanest, gnarliest in the game. Timothy Thatcher.
And his opponent stalking the ring from Sacramento, California. This is Timothy Thatcher!
Timothy Thatcher and I both debuted as wrestlers in the year 2006, and that is where the similarities between myself and Timothy Thatcher begin and end. I will tell you what, in the years that I've seen this man progress over the years, he's become one of the most ruthless, sadistic individuals I've ever seen grace the squared circle. And it's about time for Robert Martyr to get himself a lesson, Jordan.
Robert Martyr's entire Prestige wrestling career has been a so-called lesson, whether against the likes of Vinny Massaro, Masha Slamovich, Anthony Henry, or more recently, as we mentioned, against the king, Minoru Suzuki. You would think after all that, after finally proving himself, Robert Martyr would be ready to move on, but saying no. I deserve these fly-ins. I deserve these big names. Iron sharpens iron. Just because he's gotten to the dance doesn't mean he's ready to be complacent, and arguably facing off against his biggest challenge yet.
But look at this, yeah.
In the form of Timothy Thatcher.
Look at Thatcher. He is just, in the early going, you can see he's just toying with Martyr here. I think he understands the significance that Martyr has placed on this matchup.
Well, just look at the size difference here between Robert Martyr and Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher's just absolutely dwarfing Robert Martyr, both in terms of muscle and height.
He's a tall boy. When I first met him way back in 2006 in Portland, he was all skin and bones, but he has become quite the man. He's got all muscle now. One of those, descendants of the style Billy Robinson made famous. Carl Gotch. That sort of thing.
As he just wrenches the arms back of Robert Martyr, you'll wonder if Timothy Thatcher maybe sees some of himself in a young Robert Martyr there. You mentioned that skinny kid with nothing but a dream and grit.
Absolutely. And you notice here, Thatcher not wearing knee pads, because why would you want to put a pillow over a weapon?
Hold on. Robert Martyr looking to end this thing early, trying to cinch in a figure four, but Thatcher too smart and too strong for that.
And you can see, the body language on T. Thatch here tells the story. He is smiling. He is smiling that very distinctive grin of his, because he knows he can take Martyr down whenever he wants.
Well, Martyr also has a smile etched across his face. I mean, shades of the match against Minoru Suzuki back at Hybrid Moments. It seems as if Robert Martyr just so thrilled to be in the ring with one of his idols, and Suzuki and Thatcher alike very impressed by the tenacity of Robert Martyr. Call it stupidity, call it heart, call it what you will. It's impressing Timothy Thatcher, though I do not think that impression will be enough to stop him from hurting the kid very, very badly.
That's right. Look at that. Thatcher, historically, one half of Ring Conf. Thatcher experience in pro wrestling Noah. I mean, he's been all over the world. He's been all over the world because he gets the job done, because he is efficient, because he is ruthless.
Thatcher, he's locking in that signature cross arm bar here. Of course, softening Robert Martyr up, you got to think for his signature Fujiwara armbar, a game-ending maneuver for one Timothy Thatcher.
That's right. Thatcher does not need to cheat, does not need
Hold on here. Robert Martyr muscling Thatcher down to the mat here. Wow, going for broke is Robert Martyr. And again, the smile on the face of Thatcher tells the story. He is impressed with the tenacity of Martyr here.
I was going to say that Thatcher has the ability to make these holds turn lethal. It's going to be up to Devin Campbell, the referee, to see the difference in those holds and act accordingly.
Face to face here, neither man giving an inch. You want to talk about good old-fashioned professional wrestling. It's exactly what we're witnessing here, Brian Zane.
Right, the graps, that's what it's all about. The fundamentals.
Timothy Thatcher tried to send Robert Martyr into the ropes, but if you'll notice, Robert Martyr kept that headlock cinched in. He's not going anywhere. And I was talking to Robert Martyr just last week at Hybrid Moments. He was telling me that since the last time I saw him, which was over New Year's weekend, the things we carry, he's put on at least 20 pounds of muscle. And that clearly paying dividends as he's able to keep that headlock cinched in against a man as big as Thatcher. Under the legs, against the ropes.
Whoop. Nice.
Springboard cross body lateral press, only a 1.
And look at this, the body language, the face on Thatcher now tells the story. I was talking about his smile earlier. That is a look of shock.
Yeah, you know, Thatcher was having fun in the early going, maybe playing with his food, if you will, likened to a predator and prey, but I think now he's just pissed off, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing for Robert Martyr.
That's right. How often does the prey fight back?
Robert Martyr is not your average prey, a special kind of cat, saying that they told him he would be done with professional wrestling 9 months in, and here he is nearly a decade later against the likes of Suzuki and Thatcher.
Absolutely. Martyr has proven himself even in defeat. He has proven himself.
Hold on here.
Oh,
Thatcher just stepping on the hand of Robert Martyr, crushing those finger joints.
That's right. He's proven himself tough as nails, but at the end of the day, you got to win matches.
And that's the thing for Robert Martyr.
He's trapped.
That's the shift that he's looking for. He's had these impressive showings. He's proved his grit. He's proved his mettle. But the next thing is for Robert Martyr to actually pick up victories. But not looking very victorious there as the knee lands across the abdomen. Thatcher just systematically dissecting Robert Martyr here.
Those lethal knees coming to good use for Thatcher here.
But Robert Martyr, even with the hand that just got stomped on by Timothy Thatcher, using it to fight his way out.
He's not giving up, I'll give him that. Oh, nice uppercut.
Man, Timothy Thatcher giving him an uppercut, my goodness.
It may not be up to Martyr, although I know Thatcher, I talked to him earlier, he said he wants to give Martyr the choice to submit. So he has no problem locking something in. He wants it to be Martyr's decision.
Timothy Thatcher is the kind of professional wrestler who just sits at home and looks at a blank wall and thinks, how can I hurt a person? Timothy Thatcher's not at home watching TV. He's not at home playing video games. Timothy Thatcher just sits and stews on opportune ways to cause a human body pain, and that suplex is a pretty opportune one if I've ever seen it, Brian Zane.
He still owns a flip phone.
Cover
no time
here, no!
No time for games when you're Timothy Thatcher.
You want to talk about phones? I often joke about it, whether on social media or here on commentary, but Robert Martyr, a true student of the game. If you've ever been out with Robert Martyr, had him stay at my house a few months back, went out to dinner with the guy. Robert Martyr will spend any free moment he can watching and studying professional wrestling on his telephone. That's how much he loves this sport. As Timothy Thatcher has him in a surfboard here, but Martyr reverses into a cover, only a 2.
Martyr is still proving his worth here, but you can see Thatcher is getting tired of the games. He is stretching him 6 ways to Sunday right now.
Yeah, like a pretzel, as the old saying goes. But again, props to Robert Martyr, even while enduring the agony of that surfboard, able to reverse it into a pinning predicament. Just has Martyr strung up on the ropes here. Evil intentions for Timothy Thatcher.
Look out. Ooh.
No.
Bending him backwards over the top rope. And that's a tight rope, Jordan.
And Robert Martyr just hung out to dry like yesterday's laundry. And Timothy Thatcher ain't done.
There we go. One more. Oh, my goodness. clubbing blows. That's going to hit you on both sides.
And Robert Martyr just collapses like a heap in front of the people. Hold on, Robert Martyr fighting back, picks the leg.
Whoa, now that's a...
Was he going for Timothy Thatcher's own Fujiwara armbar? We'll never know as he lands on his feet, but again gets caught with a cracking uppercut. Thatcher into the cover, leg hooked, only 2.
Martyr had about a sliver of hope
Another
there.
cover here. Another cover here, Timothy Thatcher not giving Martyr a second to breathe.
I'll tell you what, that has been a recurring theme tonight. If at first you don't succeed, try covering him again.
Again, that's Timothy Thatcher, man. You want to talk about persistent. You do not get to Timothy Thatcher's level without a certain amount of persistence.
Oh, goodness gracious. You can hear those clubbing blows across the flesh of Martyr's back. Oh,
and
my
again,
God.
Again, back to that arm. First it was the hand, now it's the wrist. Timothy Thatcher.
Just setting him up for the inevitable, that Fujiwara armbar.
We saw it earlier on tonight with Michael Oku in that West Coast Pro Wrestling Championship match against Titus Alexander. Perhaps Thatcher will be more successful as he just rains that arm down. And again, softening him up for the submission, but will opt for the win. You mentioned that he prefers a submission, but not one to shy away from a 3 count either.
Hey, a win's a win.
And a win against Robert Martyr is a win because I've never seen someone be on such a roll in defeat. We talk about these matches against Masaru, Slamovich, Henry, Suzuki. Robert Martyr's lost all those matches, yes, but he has solidified himself as a superstar in prestige wrestling.
Wow, look at that. He's up. He is looking determined.
Yeah, and that kind of fire is exactly why. The phrase quit is not in the dictionary for Robert Martyr.
His head snapped back there on that uppercut.
Look at the eyes of Timothy Thatcher. He can scarcely believe it. My God, these uppercuts just keep getting stiffer and stiffer.
I think Martyr wants some more. He keeps coming back for it. Look at this.
Springboarding off the ropes with an elbow strike of his own. But those shots right to the abdomen, staggering.
Go over to the front face lock. Possibly into a guillotine, maybe?
But
No.
Robert Martyr sends Timothy Thatcher spilling out to the outside. You mentioned earlier, Zane, those pads are doing very little, and Martyr going to use the moment's reprieve to fly here, perhaps.
Everyone get out of the way. Oh, my goodness.
Cannonball dive there from Robert Martyr, and in a moment's notice, the Stray is back in this thing.
I'll tell you what, the momentum of this match has suddenly shifted completely 180.
Are we going to see a miracle here tonight in a Globe Theater? Are we going to see Robert Martyr defeat Timothy Thatcher?
I'll tell you what, if he wins here tonight, he would be known all over the globe.
And now, Robert Martyr has the head hooked of Timothy Thatcher, but Thatcher makes it up to the top rope. Another chirping shot to the gut here. Thinking superplexes Thatcher.
And with Thatcher's height, that comes a big old drop down with the superplex if he hits it.
Headbutt there from Robert Martyr. Another one for good measure. Sends Thatcher down. Martyr's got to be careful he doesn't fall himself.
He's woozy. He's got to come up with that next attack. Something to follow up on. Here it comes, maybe. Look out.
Went for that diving headbutt, but no water in the pool. And immediately,
here
Thatcher transitioning.
He's got him right where he wants him, Jordan.
He's thinking STF here. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Look at this. Robert Martyr being folded like an accordion. The human body not meant to bend that way, Zane.
Thatcher's going to make Martyr touch the back of his head with his own foot.
But luckily, Robert Martyr, for his own sake, makes to that bottom rope with his foot. That might have been his only escape.
His one free limb saving him here.
It's all you need.
Right now, Thatcher, you can see the wheels are turning in his head. He's got to figure out what he can do next to put this kid away.
He seems absolutely befuddled at the tenacity of Robert Martyr here. Can scarcely believe it.
You know, when Thatcher, going back to his debut year in 2006, Robert Martyr was 5 when Thatcher began his career in wrestling. It's kind of like, I guess you were probably 5 when I started my career.
Hold on, Zane.
So, you know, I got to say, you also have the toughness and tenacity as a broadcaster. And look at where you are now.
Well, I do not have the toughness of Robert Martyr here as he sets against the ropes and levels Thatcher with a forearm. I am not like Robert Martyr because Robert Martyr is a once in a generation, a lightning in a bottle, a special talent, and you are seeing why as he takes the strikes to Timothy Thatcher.
Absolutely. I don't know where Martyr's getting this from. He has shown his absolute fire and desire to win for months on end now.
Thatcher thinking German suplex.
Look out!
But Martyr reversing into one of his own.
Oh.
And look at Thatcher wincing in pain.
Ouch. Good thing he's got those big shoulder muscles, that strong neck.
Robert Martyr moves out of the way. Huge clubbing lariat. And now, maybe thinking brain stew, trying to snuff out the flame of Timothy Thatcher.
Is that it?
It could be, it could be.
Wait a minute. Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, we almost had a huge upset in our hands here, Jordan.
Robert Martyr coming so close. That has been the story of his journey here in Prestige Wrestling. But tonight he needs something to change.
You're the one who said earlier that close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, Jordan.
Robert Martyr throwing strikes as vicious as hand grenades here, but getting caught across the throat with a choke from Thatcher, managing to escape into a slap to the face and an enziguri kick. Thatcher is on spaghetti legs, but manages to pick the ankle of Robert Martyr, thinking ankle lock.
Absolutely, Martyr now lying in wait there with that double kick. Nice.
And now Robert Martyr maybe thinking pile driver.
Oh! Spiked him!
Learning from Suzuki, it was the Gotch variation that took him out at hybrid moments. But it's all effective, and Zane, Martyr is not done.
Martyr cannot let up. He's got to come up with a big move right here. His biggest opportunity, big knee lift.
Timothy Thatcher just crumples, but Robert Martyr has so long to crawl in order to get to that cover. Finally, he does, muscles Thatcher over.
Could be it.
It's too little, too late. It is too little, too late.
I mean, that was not the best pinfall attempt in the world. There was no hooked leg.
Well, listen, Robert Martyr just got finished muscling Timothy Thatcher up for a pile driver. You can hardly blame him for not going for the most extreme cover and now has that sleeper hold cinched in. But this is not where you want to be if you're Timothy Thatcher. The arms butterflied.
Wow.
What are we seeing here? Timothy Thatcher muscling his way out and finally into a sleeper of his own.
I was going to say, it's not your imagination. He had a wrestler on his back, but now you got Thatcher really cinching it in, cutting off the airflow.
Yeah, just squeezing the life of Robert Martyr. But look at Robert Martyr standing up to his feet in utter defiance, saying, I will not quit. I will not go out. I will not die. But he might have no choice.
Oh, here we go. This is it.
Naked choke cinched in. This has got to be it. This has got to be it. Yeah, referee Devin Campbell calling for the bell. Martyr's out.
Oh, my goodness.
The winner of this match by referee decision, Timothy Thatcher.
Well, once again, as has been his story here in Prestige Wrestling, Robert Martyr unable to pick up the victory. But I think something has changed after that match with Minoru Suzuki. He's always survived before against Masha and Vinny and Anthony Henry. But tonight, he tested the limits of Timothy Thatcher. And that says something, Zane.
Absolutely, and you can see in Thatcher with that final hold, that was him just finally wrapping it up. Putting the final nail in the coffin because he was done. But you can see there, gave him a thumbs up, gave him some claps.
A show of respect here from Timothy Thatcher. Game recognized game, man recognized real, and Robert Martyr is as real as they come.
I think Robert Martyr gained a new fan tonight. How appropriate is that considering Martyr's history, his influences in wrestling? He may not have gotten the win, but that's a career moment if ever I saw one, Jordan.
A show of adulation from the Prestige faithful here tonight in the Globe Theater. You know, Robert Martyr grew up watching shows on DVDs and right here on High Spots in this very building. So special for him to compete here tonight. Even in defeat,